Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to try to talk the various sub-bosses that are in the town, in Rethwin Town, to death. So to do so, we're going to need high persuasion, high deception, and high sleight of hand. So let's take a look, and we'll put on the graceful cloth. That's going to give us advantage on our sleight of hand checks. We're going to equip the gloves of power that give a +1 to sleight of hand checks. We don't have any boots that are going to help us make any of these checks, so we don't need athletics. If we do end up in trouble, we're going to get the most value out of being able to run away very quickly. We are already benefiting from Mark of the Shifter, and we've got the Ring of Geniality equipped. So we're ready for deception checks. We can take a look and see if there's anything that's going to help us with our sleight of hand. And we find that we do have something, the Smuggler's Ring. And it's something that we're going to want to put on when we need to make a check, but take off when we're not using sleight of hand. So we'll put that on for now, but we'll want to remember that until we're doing sleight of hand checks, we don't need it. To get advantage on our charisma checks, we're going to take Shadowheart and cast Enhanced Ability, Charisma on Alfira. Alright, so we're benefiting from advantage on dexterity checks, advantage on charisma checks. We have as much as we can get, and we have one last thing to do, so we'll break the party apart, and we're going to go to camp and replace Karlach with Gale. So the reason that we want Gale as opposed to Karlach is that Gale is also a sage in background. And so he has the ability to read the books that we've been collecting. Oh my gosh, I had Shadowheart selected, that's my bad. Okay, so he has the ability to read the books that we have selected and are in the backpack. And when he does so, he will gain a point of inspiration, as will we. So because we have the sage background, we will also get a point of inspiration. So if we're starting to fail checks when we have a series of checks, we can bounce out of the dialogue and have Gale read one of those books, even in the middle of a dialogue.
Seeing your life's hourglass running empty, grasping at any means of slowing the grains as they slip inexorably through your fingers. Karlach's fate may be ordained, but her actions are not. She will make each breath count. You can be sure of that.
Very poetic.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
And we'll have him join.
Be delighted. Though someone else will need to watch the cook pot, of course.
And we'll have him replace Karlach.
Wonderful. Lead on then.
So he is our backup if we run into a situation where we need more inspiration than we have. And just to double check, we are starting here with 4 points. So we're going to head to the Moonrise Tower waypoint that we got in the last video.
We're close. I can feel it. The Absolute. Its power is strong here.
We're not ready to go into Moonrise yet, so we're going to head up to the statue of Ketheric Thorm, straight to the north. And there's a secret entrance into an underground area, and what we want to do is we want to click these plaques, and we want to click them in order, and we're trying to get the bottom word of each to say Thorm shall rise, and that's going to be this one opposite the moonrise, and then if we're looking straight at it, to our right, and then to our left.
Let's see what this does.
So Thorm shall rise. And that's going to take us
Strange. Can't feel the shadow.
into this Temple to Shar.
What is this place?
Now, the temple has 3 statues here on the outside. Each of them is going to provide a really large stat bonus to one attribute. The one here closest to the entry door is charisma, and then we have an intelligence and wisdom. Priest of Shar will automatically make the check. What we want to do here is have our main character use the charisma plaque, and then we'll have Shadowheart use the other 2. And this is going to be a charisma save.
Are you bold of heart and sharp of tongue? Can you turn any and all to the Dark Lady's cause?
And we'll try to make the saving throw. And we've got the ritual knife from the goblin camp that we stole originally, and we're going to use that to give ourselves an extra d4. We do not want Shadowheart to use resistance because we're already having her provide advantage, and it'll break her concentration. So we don't want to fail this check, so we're going to use a point of inspiration, and we'll make it.
Confidence surges through you. You feel like there is nothing you can't do, no one you can't win over. The statue seems to agree and approve.
We'll now switch to Shadowheart and have her complete the other 2.
Do you think yourself wise enough to be granted Shar's blessing?
We'll just choose the Cleric of Shar option.
A warm swell rises through you. Acceptance. You are worthy.
Onward in her name.
And the last one.
Do you accept Shar's test of your intellect?
And we'll choose the Cleric of Shar option.
You feel a small pulse of energy race up your spine, and a strange sensation of acceptance.
And that's going to reveal this hidden door and bring our inspiration back up to full. We here find an altar to Shar along with a ritual knife to Shar. We're not going to pick up the ritual dagger. If we do, that's going to start a combat. The statues will animate. But we will click on the altar.
An altar to Shar. It appears to seek prey and a blood offering. Your blood.
And we'll take the Cleric of Shar option again. And what that did is it provided some stuff here, so we
Take that.
pick up an elixir, a potion, and a couple of scrolls. So for now, Shadowheart's got a bonus to intelligence, she's got a bonus to wisdom, and our main character's got a bonus to charisma. Mostly we were here for the bonus to charisma. All right, and we'll step out. And we'll take just Alfira, and we'll start off with the most difficult of them.
Another step forward.
For our build. So because we didn't choose to specialize in sleight of hand and let Asterion do that, the sleight of hand checks are going to be more difficult for us than they would be if we had taken expertise in sleight of hand. And we're going to go talk to the bartender, one of the Thorms. So just to double check. And when we look at our sleight of hand, we've got a +7. And when we look at our deception, we have a +12. And our performance is a +5. We're also adding in the Mark of the Shifter, and we're going to make sure that we've got our Guidance Amulet equipped. We have our Ring of Geniality, we've got our Smuggler's Ring, and this looks like about as good as we're going to get for making this check. This is a great time to save your
That sign
game.
above. This must be a brewery or distillery.
And coming down, we find this big liquid-filled super drinker guy. And we're just going to walk right in and have a seat at the bar. And we'll ask what he is.
Son of Thorm, son of Sword Coast. Go on, cheers, bottoms up, go nuts.
And we'll pick up the tankard.
Leaning in, you can see how the creature's skin barely holds it together. The bulge of its belly is on the cusp of bursting wide open.
Go on, drink, make it drink, be drunk. You and I both, to our good health.
All right, so we have a couple of options for how to proceed, and the narrator has told us that we want to engage in a drinking contest because if we get him to drink enough, he'll explode. So we take a look, and our Constitution check, we were rolling with a +1, looking for a 14, and that's because I've got the difficulty numbers set to show up here. Ordinarily, the DC 14 wouldn't be visible. Our sleight of hand check is significantly better. We're adding 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a D4. So that's what we're going to choose for sure. And so we're going to pretend to drink. The DC is going to increase each time that we do this. And we'll add guidance. And remember, if we fail, we use inspiration on the sleight of hand checks. If we're running low on inspiration, we go to Gale and we read a book. So we make it
Elixir. But such a small sip you take. Fear not. You will soon quaff as I do. Now tell me the story. A fable, a saga. Guide me.
so the lower on the list for performance, the lower the DC will be. So you should just pick the bottom one. And I'll show you, for example, here we see that it's 21. Here it's 18. Here it's 16. And it really just depends on what stuff that you've done in Act 1, what stuff will show up here. So we'll talk about the Underdark. The performance check we do not need to make. So there'll be a default to a deception check after the performance check. So if we fail the performance check, we will not use inspiration. If we fail the deception check, we will. So we'll try the Bard performance check, the bottom one. And we make it
anniversary bottle, forgotten in the widow's cellar. Delightful. Delicious. You ask, you drink, then you amaze, enthuse, astound me. Again.
So we could ask questions of him, and this will explain a little bit about what's going on in the area. So we'll just ask how he became what he is.
Father Catherine's laughter. Not joy. Not ever, never. Only laughter. Now drink it deep.
So his dad used to make fun of him. That's kind of sad. We're going to go with sleight of hand again. And we make the check.
More stories. Tell me of foes fell, villains vanquished, beasts bastard.
Again, we'll scroll down to the bottom, and we'll talk about the Inquisitor that we threw off the bridge. And we made that one as well.
I'll drink to that. We drink to everything, but especially to that. Bravo! Ask, question, make your query, and drink once more.
So we'll ask about Ketherick.
Father. Father is Father. Eternal. Invincible. Forever. Except not. Another. Drink.
And so we're just going to try sleight of hand one last time. And we make it.
I know you. I knew. We know. I am knowing. You want Father's personal, mysterious secret. Secret? No. Not never. Father said, ordered, commanded. Don't say it. Don't say it. Cage. Cage. Talking. Perish. Die. Buried. Buried in Thorm tomb. Father told me. I can't perish. No. Nay. Neither. Too strong. Too.
All right, and he explodes. And we hear that there's a her who's in a cage in the mausoleum. So that's a clue to what we need to be doing. We can grab his key and the money. He's got a bunch of alcohol if you want that. There's a perception check here on this floorboard. We'll see if we can make it. And we are. This is a hidden book for the guy that's judging dead people. And we can read it and pick it up. We've also got the rat bat, which we can grab. All right, so we're done with sleight of hand checks, so we can unequip the smuggler's ring. And we'll go ahead and use map travel and go to the Moonrise Towers waypoint, and we'll visit the toll house. And we'll head to this broken staircase. And right up. And again, we're just going to talk her to death. So we'll walk right up to her.
What do you bring?
And we will, almost as always, take the Bard option.
I require gold.
Sure, we will toss her a gold piece. Make sure that when you're doing this, you have a gold piece to toss her. We, of course, have like 20,000 or something.
Again.
And we're going to take option 3 and say that we don't give out gold for no return.
You may pass the river, but first you must pay.
And we'll point out that we've already paid.
Again.
And here we see the Bard Deception option show up. So we'll go ahead and lie and say that we are her replacement. It's been a long enough time that our guidance is exhausted, so we'll add that in. We're adding 14 to 20 for a difficulty 18 check. This is probably not actually a 1. Yeah, it was a 20. So 18. I get graphic errors on dice occasionally. Not sure why that is.
No, I require gold.
And we've got persuasion, deception, right, or intimidation. Our intimidation isn't very good. We're going to go with persuasion. She's done a great job, and we'll take it from here. And even on a 4, we made it.
I require gold. No, I pay it back.
And she just disintegrates. And that's that for the Tollkeeper. And I think her name is supposed to be Gerringothe.
Bet that will fit in my pack.
And we can pick up the several hundred gold. If we were to have fought her as you break her armor down, it'll come off. And she's got a key and some more gold and this Twist of Fortune. And there's some gimmicks you can play with Twist of Fortune where you sort of reverse pickpocket onto people and then use Twist of Fortune to kill them with gold. Inside this room, we'll find a false floor.
Something over there.
And if we interact with the statue here, we can cause it to fall through the floor and then enter into the basement area. But it's all to get additional money, which we don't really need. So here we will try guidance again. There's 500 or something gold pieces in here. So if we make it, great. If not, it's not really worth resources to try to grab 514 gold. There's also a false floor here if we make the check.
Something over there.
much we can break. And we can jump down the hole. Maybe it can be a little difficult to get the targeting right. This is not the only way in here. It's just as easy to walk up here, cast Enhanced Leap, and jump through the window. Probably easier, in fact.
Right tool.
And we'll see what's in this chest. And it is an amulet that does heat, a mechanic that we're not really using. Okay, so that's 2 of the 3 Thorms, and we'll head back towards the House of Healing and see if we can tackle the 3rd. And while we're on our way here, the 3rd one, the Surgeon, is seriously graphically disturbing. If you are easily skeeved out by gore, this is a really gross, and I would suggest that you just skip it and move on to the next video, because we're going to end this video after defeating Malus Thorm. So if you're easily bothered by horror or gore or hospital type horror stuff, this is the time to leave this video. I'll give you a second to close down, and we'll head in.
Here to see the doctor? Are we poorly? Are we desperately poorly? Oh, not so well. But well enough to wait. Join the line, and you will be seen.
And here we're just going to lie so we don't have time to wait.
Yes, yes, but all must wait. The doctor's hands are full. Join the line. You will be seen.
The doctor's hands are claws. We're going to do the Bardic Performance option or the Persuasion option. We're much better at Persuasion than we are at Performance. So we're going to choose Persuasion. This is one of the few times that we don't choose the Bardic option. So we rolled a 7, got a 25, no problem.
There's a hint of recognition in her eyes as she studies you.
The unseen wounds of war. The doctor's hand will close them. Down to the theater. Be swift. Be saved.
All right, so we've got past the first guard, and over here on our left as we come in is a skeleton laying on the ground, and it's got one of a set of 2 rings that do warding bond. We'll pick that up. All right, and we'll come to the surgical theater. Now, again, if you are easily skeeved out and you're still here, don't blame me. You should be gone by now.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the scalpel indeed is an extension of Shar. See how the patient reacts when I but stroke the right nerve. Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps where it should stroke. We can hardly hear the patient's sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. You are no sister, but that matters none. Every student is welcome.
And we'll take option 2. So ask for enlightenment.
Absence.
Absence. No other word captures the heart. Shar so very perfectly. It is the scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace. See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration of being? If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
But you, look how the succor of Shar eludes you. See how painfully present you remain. We do not wish to see you suffer so. Let us cure you.
And we're going to choose the persuasion option. We'll say the sisters aren't ready.
Their incisions are, as yet, still streaked with imprecision. That much I must concede. How to steady their hands, I wonder.
So here's another option where we're not going to take the Bard. We're going to use the regular persuasion check. The Bard check would generate the end of the encounter and the same experience, but just for my personal, I'm going to have all the sisters kill each other, and then we'll move on to the end of the encounter. You could just take the Bard option. It would be fine.
Yes, for are we not all in need of a cure? The scalpel does not discriminate. Let each and every one of you partake in its soothing journey. Absent sisters, acquaint yourselves. It is a proud moment when one sees one's teachings so lovingly taken to heart. You are to be commended for their graduation, rewarded with the promised cure. Come, I will acquaint you with the lady's dark-fingered embrace.
And here we will take the Bard option and try to convince him to kill himself. And again, if we fail this roll, we'll just use inspiration. But we didn't.
Your diligence is exemplary. Very well. Your own scalpel you will be. Observe, then succeed me into the succor of Shar.
Right. So we can see here that the experience for the nurses and the experience for him. And we'll come over and loot Malus Thorm. He's got this subjugation amulet, a little bit of money, the battered loot, which is an important quest item, and a key. We'll also talk to this distressed patient, which I'm just going to fast forward through, and we can unlock the restraints with the key that we picked up, and he'll run off. And let's all pretend like that's going to work out really well for him. All right, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.